Very much. This is a second, third opportunity for me to visit with the group. As you remember, early on in the campaign, I was down, and then there was a forum down here, and then I'm back again. In previous discussions, I've talked to you about my vision for this city. The vision has not changed. Houston is a great city. It is on the cusp of being an even greater city. An international city, a diverse city, a city that really can be the incubator of the world's future. In order for that to happen, we have to get from where we are now to what we can become. My view of this city is that I think people working together can do great things. And I think one of the tasks of leadership in this city is bringing people together to get jobs done. Some jobs are easy, we do together. Some jobs are much more difficult. But whatever the job is, if we work together, we can get it done. Let's talk about some of the challenges facing Houston. These are the same challenges that I mentioned when I was here before. Public safety, a real concern throughout the city in every neighborhood. We have increasing crime. We have a police department that is downsizing itself. Not by design, but by reality. And we have a frustration building on the part of people. So, how do we at least attack this problem? Seems to me one of the first things we've got to do is to realize we have to have more officers on the street. I'm proud that I'm endorsed by the Police Officers Union. It shows I think it shows some confidence that they have in me. But when I call for more officers on the street, it means that I recognize the reality. Right now, 50% of our police force is at or near the age of retirement. We don't have a choice when it comes to trying to put new men and women on the force. In a few years, we will be in a crisis situation. Because we've not approved overtime for next year, we effectively have reduced the force even more. So number one is putting more officers on the street. I'm watching my time. Number two is to make sure that we have law enforcement agencies working together. Cooperative policing is what I call it. Harris County working with the police department, the sheriffs and the constables and the Metro Police and the University of Houston Police and the ISD Police, all planning a course of action to keep this city safe. They'll have separate commands, but by God, they can work together. They can plan some common efforts. Number three, community policing, assigning officers to neighborhoods and let them stay there and work and work and work. And let them get to know the neighborhood and let the people in the neighborhood get to know them. The greatest asset our police department has is not the guns on their hips. It's not the vehicles that they drive or even the technology that we give them. It's the ability to work with us, to police our neighborhoods. And you've got to have that kind of mindset as we go forward. So that's what I plan to do with policing. Second problem we have is growing jobs in this city. Making sure that Houston constantly is a business-friendly city that grows jobs and creates opportunities for people. The campaign slogan that I've used, opportunity for all, is exactly that. Opportunity for all. And it starts with making sure that we have an economic base in the city that can provide for us. We've been fortunate over the years that we've continued to grow and grow and grow in population. And with that growth in population, we've been able to create jobs. Houston has been the leader in job growth. We've got to continue to do that. How do we do that? One, we recruit businesses into the city with incentives to make sure that we're competitive to get businesses in here. If Apple Computer is considering moving, your mayor will be talking with the leadership at Apple Computer about why this is a great city to relocate. And we will send a team of recruiters to go get them. Just like the University of Houston sends a team of recruiters to go get a star football player. It's the same concept. Just like I recruited my wife when I wanted to go out with her. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. When you see something that you got to have, you go after it. We have to prioritize the fact that if we're going to grow jobs, we have to be competitive to get them to come to Houston. The same is true internationally. There's no reason that we should not be the center of international trade and commerce in the world. We've got this great port of Houston. We've got the Panama Canal increasing its capacity. That means that we can do 40% of the trade with the Far East with an expanded port of Houston, expanded Panama Canal. That will create jobs and opportunities. We've got to grow opportunities for small businesses. Over and over again, understanding all small businesses, all, and women-owned and minority-owned businesses, all have to be grown in this city. As mayor, I will try to work very hard on that. So that's job growth. Number three, and let me go back to job growth just so we understand that. A part of that needs to be said down here, includes making sure that the mayor is an active ally and advocate for NASA. You clap, it's all right. Charlie Bolden is a friend of mine, a personal friend. He and I have talked about how we will make sure that NASA is adequately funded. You know what that means for this community, but I know what it means for this city. We cannot have any diminution of NASA. Now, let's go to neighborhoods, protecting neighborhoods. When I was here before, I mentioned that this is one of the most stable neighborhoods in this city, and that it is to our advantage as a city to make sure that its stability and its integrity is maintained. This is one of the places that we can showcase model community. We don't get a chance to do that with all Houston communities. As your mayor, I will work to make sure that that integrity and that stability is maintained. And finally, transportation. This is a growing city. As it continues to grow, and if we're successful in job growth, more people will continue to come to Houston. What does that mean? We'll have to be able to get around. We'll have to be able to get around. We'll have to be able to get around. We all can't get on the freeways at the same time, going in the same direction. It does not work. That means that we have to have a transportation plan for the region, not for just the city of Houston. I'm a big advocate of light rail and metro, but light rail and metro does not touch the transportation gridlock down here, doesn't touch it on 290, doesn't touch it out I-10, doesn't touch it out 45 North. We have to have a regional program, and the city and the mayor has to lead the way. Please go to my website at genelocke.com. I've got a detailed plan on transportation that I'm quite proud of, because I think it will give us the basis to grow our transportation system. It's about choices. Being able to take a car, or take a bus, or take a light rail system, or take a commuter rail system. As your mayor, I will work on all of that. I will work to aggressively get commuter rail system right parallel to Highway 3, just as I will out 290. But I'll also work to create more HOV lanes on the freeways and extend the 45 HOV lane so it doesn't stop at the wrong place as it does now. You ever tried to get off that thing and then get back on the freeway? It's a nightmare. Or if you don't take it in a car by yourself, because it's backing up, you get backed up before you get to Grace Church. I mean, that is just something we got to work on. But in addition to all of that, there are people in the inner city of this city who need good buses. And there are suburbanites who need buses to come in. We've got to work on all of that. Let me tell you why. If we don't grow our transportation system, think about it in a realistic way, the job growth that I'm talking about is impossible, because we will meet Mr. Gridlock, and Mr. Gridlock will conquer us. And all of the things that we think we want to do, we can't do, because the quality of life in this city is diminished because of the gridlock. And oh, by the way, if we start working on some of these transportation matters, it will improve the economy of Houston, because we can put people to work.